Sometimes you have to ask yourself, how do game studios manage to ignore what's like right in front of them? Like that moment that they know that their game is complete garbage. Well, it's probably because they think that it's not. They probably think what they did was some kind of work of art and some cultural evolution that we all had to participate in. Well, in the case of Concord, I think myself and many other people can tell that studio, that ain't it, bro. What am I talking about? Well, here we go on That Game Place. Hi, folks. It's CC here from That Game Place. That's right. And I'm here with one of my favorite friends when it comes to gaming, an author and, a gamer. And he knows a little bit about that manga stuff and anime things. In fact, I'm right, Spencer?
You are, and I'd also like to say thank you, Culture, for not referring to me as a journalist. That means the world to me.
Yeah. Well, what I didn't say is urinalist, which is what I think of Kotaku, but that's an entirely other video. On that note, my friend, have you heard of this story? Have you heard of this game, Concord? You know what I'm talking about?
Unfortunately, against my wishes, my desires to have never heard of it, I know too much about this game. So the long answer short, yes.
Well, let's help our audience with it because, as I said, this is Pronouns, the video game, and there's a reason why I introduced this game the way I did. Concord Early Access Beta drew less than 1,200 concurrent players. I couldn't finish.
Great.
It's not
incredible.
What's so funny to me is like the later in this article, I'm a little foreshadowing, folks. You're gonna go, how did they not know? But hey, at the end of the run, this might collapse an entire studio. I mean, why not?
Another one.
That's right. Well, you get consultancy, or you bring in somebody who used to work for a consultancy, or somebody that's aligned with all the Looney Tunes out there. This is what you're going to get. But anyway, this is, of course, a story out of that Park Place. So Firewalk Studios' upcoming team shooter Concord is not drawing in many players. That's an understatement.
To say the least.
Yeah, well, look at the character model, right? So this is Daw.
Yes.
Daw has this thing called intensive care. I would say, yeah, pretty soon. Yeah.
Literally, we don't even have to look at their abilities like you just did. Every single one of these characters is diversity, Tumblr, checkbox, the character. It is almost outright embarrassing. Like you have this character. I'm sure we'll get to it a little later on. There is a big butch black lady with bright pink lipstick and like eyeshadow who's ready for combat. And of course, as you know, all the pronouns are listed on the character profiles. It's a mess. It is like you said. It is everybody. It is the craziness of the game, if you will.
Oh yeah, and here's the weird thing, folks. And let me tell you, we're gonna get deeper in this article, and you're like, what are they doing now? There's like little exposés on the character. We'll get to it. Anyway, so so the communications manager over there at Firewalk, Alice Labrecht,
as good of a shot as I would have had at it,
announced that the early access beta earlier this week, noting it would run from July 12th to 14th, and the early access beta concluded. So now you're going to get an open beta from July 18th to 21st. Aren't you excited?
A second one. Yay. Now all that FOMO you're experiencing right now, like our viewers, I know you saw what we just put up. You're going to see the rest of this article. You're going to go, oh, I want to play that game so bad. Well, you're going to get your chance. So lucky.
I want to double that number to 2,400 concurrent players. Anyway.
Yeah, you know what? Unfortunately, tall ask in this case. Tall ask.
It might be, and let me tell you, some great video game reviewers are in this article, but I'll say this. So if you are playing on PS5, you can pre-download the Concord beta starting, Thursday the 11th. That was 4 days ago. I wonder how many downloads that got. We'll find out soon because we'll know these numbers.
Be more than what was playing it.
That's true. So in order to participate in the early access beta, you had to pre-order the game from someone who, or get a code from somebody who pre-ordered it. But that's not all. They were pretty desperate, but they didn't indicate as such. Because when you did get the beta early access weekend, you got 4 additional codes. So it's so you plus wild. 4 other people. Well, this is an expensive game. We'll get to that in a minute. But
Well,
On
it's
top of
also it's so funny because this is basically, you've played video games betas before. I've played it. Our
uh
viewers have played it. It's normally you get your code. You are lucky to get this. Be quiet. Don't tell anybody. Wait until your NDAs are up. Like they want you to. It's exclusive. And now they're basically going, you got in. Please, like, get 4 other people. Like here. Yeah, they're gonna love to go, aren't they? Please, please,
yeah, I
please.
mean, do they have pink or purple hair? Do they have an undercut? Or do they have pronouns
At
in their
this point,
bio?
I presume that that a download code for this game will be included in the what do you call it? The like handout docket that you get at every liberal arts college. Like when you
I,
sign up or you go to
I,
orientation, that's what it is. Your
I,
orientation folder.
let me step even farther over that for you, Spencer. I'll say that if you just visit the website Pink News, you probably have a
Oh
opportunity
boy.
at a code there. But I will say this already, for whatever reason, this Twitter link doesn't work. Now I'll speculate, maybe not accurately, that this got pulled down, but I don't know. That's what sometimes happens if you link to a tweet. But so the game is not attracting a player base. There's the numbers. Hello. There are 5 there at the time that this was taken. I don't know when it was, but at the time it was taken, it's 584 people playing it. That's it.
We have more subscribers here at that game place after like 2 weeks of existence
Yeah.
than
Well,
this game.
three,
At this
three, three,
major 3 weeks. You're right. You're right.
three.
3 weeks of
Yeah.
existence. We have more followers here at TGP than this PlayStation Studios big budget blowout release. Like that is, you can't dance around that. That is bad.
Well, and again, the all-time peak was 1,124. So we still have more subscribers than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. Thank all of you for
Yes.
helping us beat this dumb game. So, in fact, gamers who've played the early access beta do not seem to be impressed because guess what? Endymion actually reviewed this game, and here's what he said. I'm reading the tweet because I'm going to... There it is. Yeah, dude's awesome. Says, so I tried the Concord beta to see if it could win me over. Here's the positives and negatives. Okay. I like the fact that he went after some positives, right, Spencer? You don't see that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got to compliment what's good. You got to tell everybody like this is what we want to see more of, and then of course, like our main prerogative is here, call out the bad as well.
Well, here the first good thing is it was free.
Kinda. I mean, let's hope Endymion, like somebody gave him one of their codes and he didn't have to pre-order the game to get it.
I honestly believe they just sent it to him, or he went.
I believe that too.
Yeah, or he went over to Kotaku where they're probably giving him away too. Anyway, honestly. And graphically it looks nice in cutscenes. Low bar. Anyway, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah. That is a very minimal compliment. That is when you're reaching. You go, cutscenes look nice because most are going to these days, unless you are Captain America: Brave New World. But you can catch that on a different show.
Oh, indeed, yeah. Well, yeah, over on that Park Place probably. But anyway, so the negatives are the character movement feels sloppy and slow. I'm not surprised. Map feels lifeless and boring. Not surprised.
Not surprised at all.
And no character felt good. Wow. There is much more there, and you can go on and read this particular tweet because I don't think Endymion is going to delete it.
Not anytime soon, at least.
Yeah,
unless the next beta comes out and they've changed everything, and he goes, my eyes are opened. I'm so sorry. This is the greatest game of all time.
So good. I love pronouns. I eat pronouns for breakfast. Anyway, so
here's mine. He, him, his, him, her.
Anyway, YouTuber Dreamcast guy also described the game as Walmart brand Overwatch.
Yep, that sounds about right.
I think very little about Overwatch. So now you're setting the bar very low. Very low, if that's the perspective gain we have there. So the game was revealed during PlayStation State of Play in May, which I found lacking.
Yep.
And it had significant backlash because of the character designs and the embrace of the identitarian ideologies. See, I cleaned up the language.
You did. Look at that.
Yeah, it was amazing.
The fly.
Yeah, Yeah. Oh, yeah. So dude, they're going to serve you the healthy dose of pronouns, whether you want them or not. So enjoy. Yeah. The director of IP, who is on it, like has the world's worst takes ever,
Oh yeah.
tells you about every character brings their own unique personality, skills, and wide-ranging perspectives to the crew. Now, we covered this game before. I just didn't realize they were really going to release it. They
That's not
did.
even that's not even anything to say about the game. That's not a unique thing. I could apply that same description to, like they said, Overwatch, to Marvel's Avengers, to Marvel's Midnight Suns, to Gotham Knights if I wanted to. That is the most generic, like, we're making a video game statement. Like, that's not a selling point.
But here's the innovation. And this I want you to comment on because you're one of the people that can comment on it. Every week you log into Concord, you're going to be welcomed with a new cinematic vignette that will give you a chance to see the characters off the job. You're going to get to see their ongoing narrative arcs, to see who is crawling in a sleeping bag with who else or the other or whatever.
Joy, yeah.
Spencer, what do you think the prospects are for this game? Character models aside and all of that.
Oh man, the prospects for this game are very, very, very bad. At the point where I would honestly, if I had the ear of Sony, of anybody over there at PlayStation, I would recommend the Batgirl treatment on this game. So
Uh,
yeah, if you guys remember when the game came out, it got immense backlash at the PlayStation like Summer Games Fest announcement because, as Culture just reviewed, this aside, character designs aside and all that stuff, this is a game that is 10 years late to the design party and has absolutely zero sort of soul behind it. Right? Like we had Overwatch back in 2016 and the hero shooter genre is pretty much dead. Everybody's moving on to battle royales or things like Helldivers where it's all cooperative, right? Those
Yep.
are the new game systems that are everybody wants to enjoy, not more of the blog on, pick a hero, get your EXP, and then maybe buy a battle pass from us. Like, that is not what people want anymore. Again, maybe if you did this right before Overwatch, right after Overwatch, but this is just it's like the Agatha all along of video games, essentially.
Oh yeah,
It
no,
is.
they lived up to the memes, Spencer. But real quickly, we're gonna get into the last bit of this because we need to wrap it
Yeah.
up. But I'm gonna say this because we don't want to waste your time on a bad game. I promise you. But no, Mark Hurd weighed in. Obviously, you know Mark. He's Grums, and Grums knows a lot about stuff. And Grums is not pulling punches anymore. And he posted on X that PlayStation owned Firewalk Studios has heard your complaints about Concord and ignored them. And honestly, that's almost all you need to hear, except the criticism of their characters is white noise. They're dismissing it. They're very much in their own bubble. And yeah, not going well. Yeah, so here's the worst part of this news, right? Meanwhile, Sony will be forcing PC players to register for PlayStation Network. So it's barring
That's
it
the
from
standard
sale.
now. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
complete standard now.
and it's barring it from sale in 177 countries. So
It's hard for me to honestly care when it's Concord. Ghost of Tsushima, yeah, honestly that was bad. Helldivers 2, that was bad. But does anybody in any of those 226 countries or whatever it is, are they really that excited for Concord? I genuinely, the 5 players internationally who want to play Concord, maybe PlayStation Studios can buy them a VPN. Maybe that's the solution. Because this is a hard, again, we should be fighting back against all this and we should call it out whenever it happens. But I will admit, it's hard to see where the outrage is going to come around for this one.
Well, I think that these people are exposed. If you go watch this VGC interview, you learn very much about the entrenchment of this ideology and absolutely why this game is failing. With all of that said, and Spencer, because you would know, what are your final thoughts on this game and its prospects going forward?
So if I'm going to ask you, Culture, and I'll ask our viewers if and you guys might not, but back in 2016, right before Overwatch came out, do you guys remember there was a game called Battleborn? It was the exact same thing as Overwatch, same thing as Concord. It was a hero shooter that really said, oh, look at our characters. Our characters are the things that everybody is going to love. And it came out and it was such a bad game fundamentally that it flopped. It shut down the studio. It was a game from Gears of War developer Cliffy B, and he's no longer like a major player in the industry, in part because of that game's failure. So essentially what we're looking at here, bottom line, is a game whose development team focused way more on appealing to, like, I say this a lot on various streams, catch me wherever, but a lot of what people want, or what a lot of modern younger viewers want these days, are quote unquote coffee shop like universes, right? They want really soft, gentle takes on their characters where they're just hanging out. They, oh, I want to see how Spider-Man and Moon Knight, hang out at a pizza parlor. The scene, the ending scene from Avengers, as funny as it was, has done untold damage to our pop culture. And this is sort of the end product of that. Everything about this game is, look at how silly our characters are interacting with each other. Look at how unique they are. Look, here's their pronouns. We're going to give you, their selling point here is, we're going to give you background into these characters, which I'm not against per se. Like, that's a fun addition. If you want to make your game and then say, hey, if you're interested in learning more, here's, comics, cutscenes, so on and so forth. Lots of games do that. Valorant, Overwatch, League of Legends, all that stuff. But to go, this is our selling point. You're going to love these characters so much that you're going to want to hang out with them every day and deal with this outdated game design. This is them. No way. No way. You are looking at a colossal failure, and I'm here for the ride.
Wow, Spencer, I think you nailed it. Right on. Dude, you hit the head of the nail with the hammer.
I am giddy for this game to hit. I am giddy for the just cascading failure. I'm waiting for it.
You're all about, hey, maybe that was a bad idea.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
Well, hey, I'm going to tell you, how many game studios can collapse this year? I'm going for 9.
We're going for the record.
I'm going for 9, and we may get it. On that note, what do you all think out there in the audience? I think Spencer and I really want to know, are you going to play Concord? Is that your jam? Are you interested in Pronouns, the video game? I don't know. Is anybody? Doesn't seem like it. Are you going to try this beta test coming right up? I hope you do, to let us know what you think. Regardless, let us know those thoughts down in the comment section below. And as always, make sure you're subscribed, hit the thumbs up button, and of course, as always, game on!